Hey everybody, it's me, Bae Le Stray. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be interviewing Gia Fagnelli. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. How are you doing tonight, Gia?
Hey, I'm doing great, Bae.
Nice.
Thanks for having me on.
Yes, absolutely. Nice to see you tonight. How did you enjoy tonight's Drag Race episode?
I mean, I like any of the drag races that aren't USA because the farther we step away from the Western media, the more interesting it all seems to get.
You know, that is true. It does seem a lot more like intriguing, a lot more innovative. And then speaking of innovation, you have been awarded for that as well as Most Innovative 2019 in Portland. How was that? And how was that experience like holding that title?
I mean, I'm sad that they won't be able to have the event this year. I don't think that they're doing it this year. But I am delighted to try to hang on to that title for 2 years running and just claim it. I'm all about it. So it was an amazing experience. The timing was really unexpected in ways and precarious, and I definitely had some emotional challenges around that time of year. And going there and getting on stage and doing the damn thing and being surrounded by other sex workers, other strippers and hoes, and like who just takes so much love and enthusiasm in their craft was such a profoundly beautiful experience. I'll never forget it. It was the first title I ever went for, and I went for it and I got it. So I'm about it.
Yes, that talent does always shine through. And if you're working and being innovative, it's always gonna come out on top. And you're inspired a lot by cartoons and like spooky things. What do you use to cultivate that experience?
Well, let's see. What do I use? A lot of mushrooms. But also, I just like to have a lot of fun with my gender. My whole concept when I first started out with drag was going for this extraterrestrial alien thing, because what does masculinity or femininity mean outside of planet Earth, outside of this galaxy even, you know? And to be somebody who is a stripper in straight clubs at times, but is also a drag performer who gender fucks and does and uses he him pronouns, and all these different ways that we like to draw little boxes around ourselves, and I like to like get in there and smear it up. And I've been having a real lot of fun with that. Roger Klotz has been a real inspiration to me lately. Sort of like playing on toxic masculinity, but also how clearly queer so many villains are. We already know how I run with a little bit of a squad of queer villains who are villains for good, you know?
When you pull that inspiration from like horror movies, is there any like top ones that stick out to you?
Yes, I do. I do have definitely a lot of inspiration also from horror movies. I was a big fan of Midsommar because I deal with a lot of subject matter around grief, and that process of going through extreme grief, especially when you're in isolation, it cracks you wide open in these really sometimes thrilling ways. And I really like to explore that. And it is its own kind of like real life is its own horror movie, and certainly it is right now for a lot of us. And there's ways in which we want to make things less horrible for the people around us and for ourselves. And then there's certain things that are part of life that horror genre helps to understand and helps us to cope with, So Carrie's a big inspiration for me, and oh yes, and let's see, May. If you've ever seen the movie May, where it's like this person has been isolated to the point where everybody lets her down in some way, so she's gonna make her own best friend by chopping people to bits, So I have a lot of fun with any kind of role breaking.
Yes, and pulling inspiration from spooky things or horror things and being that kind of drag performer, I'm sure a lot of people always ask you if you're going to be doing Dragula. And do you see that in your future for yourself? And do you think you could do those extermination challenges?
Okay, so I think that Dragula would be so much fun. I do so many different types of looks that are inspired by death and inspired by like drug-addled psychotic breaks. And I think that would be a lot of fun to bring some just like emotionally unhinged drag to Dragula would be a lot of fun for me. Um, I am not actually about like a lot of the super fucking gross out things. Like it would be so hard for me to eat some raw guts. You know, there's certain things that I just don't know. I would love to get on the show and would be probably okay with even going home first if something was just not that. There's a lot of shit that I don't give a fuck and I'll go ahead and do it, you know? But some of the things they have on there, and usually the first challenge, usually the first elimination, ends up being something really disgusting. Spiders I could have handled. I think I could have handled spiders. But, you know, I don't know. I'm picky about textures.
Yeah, I'm not sure about those elimination challenges. That's why I always ask. You recently worked with Landon Sider, the current reigning of Dragula. How was that experience like?
Well, it was before quarantine, so you know it feels like just yesterday, but was definitely a little bit of a time warp. But yeah, doing live events, you get to meet so many rad people, and Landon is just so sweet, so chill, so professional, and I had such a great time sharing a stage with them. That was so cool.
As you mentioned, you get to meet a lot of cool people in this industry, and you got to work with the likes of Dorian Electra. I really enjoy his song Drag. I think it's actually the song that really pulled me in. And what was that experience like for you?
Dorian's rad. I got to meet Dorian through working with an artist, an installation artist called Marina Finney, who makes incredible jewelry and all kinds of plexiglass stuff, and did an installation at Miami Beach Art Basel a couple of years ago that included Dorian Electra and Mood Killer and Glam Hag and some other really fucking cool people from the Chicago drag scene. And through that experience, I got to do a couple of different backup dancing gigs for Dorian, both in Miami and also in New York. And it was such a cool experience for me. And I got to bring a couple of friends along at different points. I got to bring my other stripper friends with me to be able to also do backup dancing with her and with them. And it was such a rad experience. I had so much fun with that.
Yes, and one thing I wanted to mention when you mentioned your stripping thing, I didn't get to mention it earlier when you mentioned your inspirations for drag, but I like how you always bring that stripper element to your gender fuck, like to your drag. Like that's my favorite part. It like really blurs the line and makes people question what's going on.
Thank you. It's my favorite thing to completely clash like my gender fuck or my masculinity with having my body out, having my stripper heels on, wearing my packer, wearing my strap on. You know, sometimes I'm, you know, in something feminine, sometimes I'm in something masculine, but you know, strippers come in all genders, and it's not limited to only whatever I'm able to do or able to get away with in a straight strip club, which also is sometimes more than you'd think.
Ooh, that I have seen stripper performers perform at drag shows and they've done some wild things. And that's great art. It's always thought provoking. And I feel like your videos, they're very thought provoking as well. You just came out with Roller Coaster on your OnlyFans, and that was really wild. Can you explain what the inspiration behind that was?
That inspiration is 100% psychedelics. So it could be a moving. It's part of a series that I'm calling Moving Meditations, and It's a little bit like a cross between slow TV, if slow TV was fast TV, and moving art, if moving art was somehow slower or longer. So these episodes are meant to give you completely different experiences. The first episode is Roller Coasters, which is all kinds of footage from POV recordings of roller coasters from around the world that are chopped up and edited to be extra trippy. And all I can say is you can enjoy it on its own, or you can enjoy it while you're coming up on something. And it is better, in my personal, I love roller coasters, and it is, for me, even better than going to Kennywood or Disney, because you can go to all the places all at once, no lines, and it's even trippier than it could possibly even be in person. So I have a lot of fun with that.
Ooh, I might definitely have to check it out on some psychedelics. And you mentioned the word episodes, so it seems like you're going to have more of these videos coming out. Can you tell us a little about future projects that you have that you're working on right now?
Oh, yes. I got some things brewing and stewing I'm really, really excited to tell you about. So I've got coming up on 10/10/2020, October 10th, I've got the Exorcism exhibition coming out, which is it is a collection of works that has been in development for over 2.5 years. A lot of it's been performed live. Some of it has never been seen before. It's all reimagined in digital drag and in video art. And I'm so thrilled to be putting it out there. And it is featuring Louisiana Purchase and Jordan Harris, both of Austin, Texas. Such incredible talents, and I couldn't be happier to have them a part of it. It's so beautiful that I just got their videos in and put them all together, pieced it all together in this beautiful patchwork of art. And it is it's a little like a multimedia video collaging. It also has a little bit of a journalistic or a diary sort of a feeling to it, but it's personal, it's relatable, especially the first episode. The second episode will be coming out later. I'm still filming it, but is much more on the political side of the political exorcism that we all are way overdue for, especially white people, especially even white queers who think that we are somehow separated from our ancestry, which we really have to grapple with. We have a lot of intergenerational curses over here to deal with. The personal is the political, the local is the global. So that's what I'm working on.
Ancestral work, that's deep. 10/10/2020, an iconic date, and where can people find your project?
So this will be released on Princess Jafar's Vimeo, who is my co-producer for this piece. And the link and the password will be able to be bought separately, but also you'll automatically get it if you're a member of my OnlyFans. As soon as it drops, you might even be getting it a little early.
Ooh.
Perks.
And doing that project with Louisiana Purchase, how was working with her?
What a dream. I mean, she is so magical and delivered exactly what I had envisioned and asked for. And which, of course, is because what I envisioned was her, and she delivers, and just such a sweetheart, so professional, so quick, just fabulous.
Absolutely. And you did mention Princess Jafar is your co-producer. What's that relationship like, and how is that working with him?
Yes. Princess Jafar is my co-producer, my manager, my momager, and such a great friend and collaborator. And it's just what I like to describe as batshit genius, which I also like to think of myself that way. I think that that's the way my creativity flows, is, to let it be a little unhinged. And yeah, what a great experience being this person's friend and comrade over the past couple of years. And this year more than ever has been, I'm so grateful to have this person in my life, keeping me driven, keeping me manic.
Yes, like he likes to call himself, a genie. He is also the producer of my YouTube channel. We just started working together, and he really is a great person. But all right, and like you said, working during quarantine, you've been doing a lot of making your own things happen. And you are doing one-on-one pole dancing class along with wide video performances as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, my online pole content. Yes, I have a lot of fun with that. Primarily PRL, which is Pull Requests Live. In the strip club, so often people love to watch me on stage in particular. That's where I have most fun. And people love to request songs, and I'll always tell them, if you tip me enough and you tip me enough to tip the DJ, then I can make a song request. But now that we're in quarantine, I kind of got the idea that why don't we just have Pull Request Live? People can tip me directly and choose their own songs that they would like to hear and see me perform to. And I started doing that. The first season of Pull Request Live happened on my Instagram Live. And the season premiere of that happened on Auto Straddle's Instagram, which I'm so proud of. It's the biggest queer media website for queer women and trans folks. And season 2, I will be doing on OnlyFans specifically because, Instagram is a hater. Sesta Fosta sucks and is kicking all kinds of people off. And they also love to clock anybody who's using any kind of music. So I'm cutting through all that bullshit and taking it directly to OnlyFans, where I can do whatever the fuck I want. We can all do whatever the fuck we want.
Yes, and I actually remember leaving a digital drag show where you actually mentioned PRL. And I literally told Every about it. I was like, you can have a stripper dance to any song you want. Like, you have to check it out.
And also, I have done some pop-up strip clubs earlier in quarantine. I have been a guest performer at some digital pop-up strip clubs that have happened on Zoom. And that's a lot of fun, too.
Ooh, and I can't see what's next from you because you're always working on some crazy projects, some exciting projects. Is there anything that you're working on or that you want to talk about that we didn't necessarily get to talk about today?
Yes, I have a lot of content coming out. I've got more episodes of the Moving Meditation series, which are sit back, relax, meditate, trip out if you want to, do yoga if you want to. If you're cleaning or whatever you want, put it in the background. It's beautiful art. And next episode is going to be focused on bodies and beautiful art made out of bodies and with motion, and of course featuring myself and Jordan Harris, and Slow Danger is doing the score, is doing all of the sound and all of the music, and is also contributing some amazing art with their beautiful bodies. So and it's featuring all kinds of beautiful queer and sex working bodies and people who are running those bodies. And I'm working on a whole host of those series that will become of moving meditations that will be coming out throughout the winter. One other thing that I would like to also plug is that I'm still working on my Gia Fagnelli series, which is drag specifically inspired and numbers specifically inspired by different films and movies. I have a lot more of those in the pocket coming up. I'm kind of saving some of those for my winter mania. So I'll have a lot of those coming up. They're an easy, quick turnover. So keep looking out for those. Those will be on primarily on my OnlyFans and also on my Instagram, as long as I can find clips that are safe for Instagram.
Ooh, well, definitely check out your Instagram and your OnlyFans. Do you want to go ahead and plug those names right now?
You can find me on Instagram at Gia Fagnelli, and you can find me on Twitter at Gia Fagnelli. You can find me at Venmo and Cashapp at Gia Fagnelli. You can find me on OnlyFans at Gia Fagnelli or /Gia Fagnelli. And you can also find me at giafagnelli.com.
Yes, Gia Fagnelli is branded. And Gia, thank you so much for coming, talking about Drag Race, talking about your drag, talking about your experiences. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks so much for having me, Bae. Check you next time.
All right, everybody, that's it for this video. And remember, if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other YouTube stuff. So, bye, bae.